Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're going to be testing out a T5 Cerberus fit for, in particular, T5 Darks. This is a ship using high-grade Hydras. It is similar to the one I've previously tested. I've previously tested high-grade Hydra Cerberuses. This is slightly buffed up, a very similar fit. It's using C-type multi-spectrums, Pith X-type large shield booster, and Corellum B-type 10 MN just to get a bit of extra speed. It's got a decent tank, especially for a dark site. The main issue is the capacitor is not the best, but I think it should be alright when you're in the dark site. So let's get to work. One thing that could be a very good upgrade, and this is I'll probably think for like T6, is that you have Caldari Navy heavy assault missiles, then you can have a diagnostic system right here, so then you would have better capacitor, slightly better capacitor, and also better buffer. So we'll find a filament right here. Okay, and let's get to work. Previously, when I tested this Cerberus, not this Cerberus fit, but a very similar Cerberus fit for T4 Darks with high-grade Hydras, I actually forgot to use the drones, so that is something I should remember. I didn't really have much use of drones because they do so little DPS, and in dark sites, drones apply hardly anything at all. But if we encounter, for example, battleship waves, it can be good because then it can act as a little bit extra DPS. Even though it's small, it's a little bit extra, just a little bit of side DPS, you know? So here, 55 extra DPS. We've got a high-grade Hydra clone right here. This is what we've got. The fit itself is 1.4 billion, and then the pod I think is another 1.4 billion, something like that. It's not cheap. I preferably want to do something a bit cheaper for the T5s, but it's not as expensive as I would say in like T6. In T6 I probably would use like 6 bill or something like that, with the A-type multi-spectrums and blinged out heavy assault missiles, all our launchers. Sentinel, null charges. We want to take out these guys. Or we can go a little bit to the side right here. There's nothing saying we have to just face plant ourselves into them. Maybe we should take out that confuser because he's going to make us apply worse. It's alright. Now that he's in... Oof, yeah. Now that he gets in the blue cloud, we apply so good. But we just have to be a bit wary of newts. That's the main thing I would say. So unfortunate that we can't have good capacity. If we had a second mid slot, that would be perfect. And if we had enough power grid, putting a second cap battery would make this just an absolute beast of a ship. And just boost up a little bit. Just a few cycles, you know. You don't have to do anything too crazy. Confuser over here. I'll go for the Watchmen over here. They do a bit more damage than the FE Althas, I think. And they've also got remote reps. So it can be good to take care of them. And I think I might be able to do Rage on these guys. We'll test out. I think Rage can be an option in these crews right here just because of how good application we have with high-grade Hydras. Let's see right here. Oh, it doesn't seem to be that great. 500. Maybe 800. Okay, that's decent. But maybe that's because a bit of the DPS went into structure, so structure has low resists, because I'm sort of taking into consideration their resist of 60% right here. I think actually, yeah, it's enough. It's good application because we do 2.2k volley. They have 60% resist, so it's going to be less than half of the damage we're going to do. Oof, those are big volleys right there. Probably pop. Let's pop these guys. If you're going for like a missile line of ships, because this is why I'm like testing out. Why the reason I'm testing out these kind of fits right here, because I'm trying to find like a T0 to T6 Abyss series like set of ships that you can use that's focusing on missiles, but it'll sound very like boring. But since you're using like good missile skills and Caldari skills, you could just always go for a Gila, because the Gila uses missiles and uses Caldari and shield based skills. So you have very easy time crossing over into the Gila if you feel like it. Just have to train a bit of drone skills. And in some ways it could be good because you're using light missiles, and that could be used in, like, for example, a Hawk or something like that. So then you won't have to train them double. Yeah, this is super simple right here. Just popping these guys like nothing. I should try actually testing out more T5 fits, because I've been testing a lot of T4 fits, and the reason is because I think T4 is a sweet spot, because you can, in certain fits, get away with cheap fits, but in T5 it basically is impossible to get away with a cheap fit. But I think that still maybe we could try finding cheaper fits for T5, so we don't have to go like multi-billion ships. Maybe sub 1 bill ship for T5 that is reliable could be a very good option. I know the YouTuber Urslag, he's done sub 500 mil ships for T5s, but the thing is, he was more like doing, okay, we're just going to do a few sites. He often, sometimes had a bit of trouble with them. I'm meaning ones that you can like reliably farm, like for example, the way I do T4 hybrid Gila works really well in T4s, something like that. But maybe okay, a bit more expensive ship, but for T5s, because T5s do give pretty good loot as well. T6 obviously is the best, but it's like you get pretty rich pretty quickly by using by doing T5s. Null charge, entanglement. Just want to get in close, really. Go a little bit to the side right here. Before Charybdis is able to even get close, or get away. I mean, not get close. Charybdis always likes to pull range. We can orbit this guy at 10 kilometers. That's annihilating these sleeper cruisers right here. Getting perfect application to them as well with rage. Really nice to see. Oof, it's nice to see. This is like 1k volley when they got 50% resist. That's pretty much meaning we're doing perfect application. Oh, look at those hits right there. That's good. And that's some good hits. Yeah, Charybdis is absolutely no issue whatsoever. It's the Cinnabar waves that are the main issue. You can orbit here. Scylla Tyrannos? A weaker variant of the sleeper cruisers. They're a bit less tanky than normal Ephialtes. So in terms of time, these guys usually go a bit quicker. Let's do the Scylla Tyrannos over here. Now I can lock up Charybdis last. And actually have our drones go for Charybdis, since we were discussing that before. Having drones just complement our DPS slightly, even though it's very little. And can slightly complement our DPS. We should have deployed them even earlier, to be honest. But they miss so much because it's not only is their range reduced, but they also go so damn fast, so they're just missing themselves. They're getting a few chips in here and there. Not like it's really going to make a whole difference. Maybe shave off a few seconds. It's alright, it's alright. At least we put these things to use. Some big volleys. Oh, look at that guy. He dies so quickly. It's great to see, great to see. We absolutely destroy this guy with heavy assault missiles. Look at that DPS. Almost 900. Well, it is 900 DPS with the drones. See, 950 DPS even with the drones. Really great. And I think we could actually get even more DPS if we go with the heavy assault missiles, the Caldari variant. Heavy assault. This is what we would do like if we were going to do, say, T6. T6 would be something like this. Scourge Rage. 1k DPS. Oof. And then we could go with the diagnostic right here. Diagnostic. Caldari Navy power diagnostic. And we have more capacitor as well. Look, that's a big difference in capacitor too. Right, 7.5 gigajoules extra. This is a pretty solid setup right here. I think even if we were to go with a better Afterburner, then you're able to get by with a better capacitor, maybe? No, that doesn't really make any difference. Yeah, all the capacitor is the same here. But that's nice to see. You see, we get some extra capacitor over there, plus extra buffer, which can be actually quite useful when you're in the higher tiers, because this ship naturally doesn't have a really big buffer. Having that extra buffer does help. And one thing I want to check actually is if we do like this, and then we go with heavy assault. Because I'm curious, if we upgrade the multispectrums, will it cost more? Will it cost more capacitor? This is what I mean. You have to really bling hard. You bling this, then you're able to fit it really nicely. And then put the multispectrums right here. Multispectrum shield hardener, Pithum A type. Yeah, oof. Then we have 20k EHP and really crazy tank as well. We can check here what kind of tank we have with this, but this is going to be some sick tank. 630 HP in a dark site is really good, because dark site you naturally just need less tank. Oh, I should be shooting as well, because you're going to be dodging stuff a lot more. Like this ship right here doesn't have enough tank, I would say, to do reliably other types of filament types. But for darks, everything, all the tank, generally speaking, or it always doesn't need to be as hard as you go in the other types of filaments. You can just avoid DPS a lot easier. Easy. It's amazing what you can achieve with the high-grade Hydra implants. You just get such a powerful ship. An absolute boss of a ship. curious. What is the appraisal? Appraisal for the filaments. Cataclysmic dark. Cataclysmic dark filament. 30 million. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. Chaotic dark filament. 5 million. Okay. T5 is not that expensive, but T6 is quite a pricey filament. Didn't expect it to be that much. Any neuters? Just entanglers. Okay. Okay, let's go for this guy. How much do cataclysmic exotic filament? 20 million. I think it's just because the exotic filaments give very bad ISK. I don't know if they fixed that in such a long time since they ran exotic filaments, the T6 in particular. But it's unfortunate that the darks cost so much. They used to cost a lot less, actually. Could perhaps run gammas. Gammas could be nice because you would have very big shield buffer. But it would be a bit dangerous because of our explosive resist not being the highest. They'll reduce it even more. It would make certain waves do a lot more damage. Firestorm would also be quite deadly. Popped, popped, popped. It's actually really fast to use the rage missiles. I should be using the rage missiles a bit more because we apply actually so good that we're able to just get by with the rage. Seems to be not applying too well. I think if we're going a bit of an angle, then it will apply a bit better. We'll see. Going like sort of like the opposite direction that they're going in. It sometimes applies a bit better. Yeah, you see that? Applies a bit better now. Oof, 2k volley. And popped, and last uphold over here. Upholding this chaotic dark filament. He's going to go down any second, and then he gets saved by my missile reload time. But that would actually be a really cool thing. Getting relatively cheap, or like cheaper T5 ships, that would be great. Especially implantless, that would be amazing. Preferably, I'd like to go with good implants, because when you're going with good implants, then you don't have to keep your ship expensive, and then you get ganked. It's a bit easier to recover from that. So, I mean, if I could somehow find a very expensive implant, cheap ship for T5, that would be a very, I think that would be a very good option. Maybe I could try it with a Zealot, in fact. Maybe T5 electric. We'll see. We'll see. But the Cerberus seems to have handled that T5 dark pretty well. I'm sure there's other waves that will challenge a bit more, like Cinnabar waves, etc. But the Cerberus is a very powerful ship when combined with high-grade Hydra. It's an absolute beast, in fact. Can use their rage-heavy assault missiles and apply like almost 900 DPS at these guys and just blow fools out of the sky or out of the space. It's really, it felt very satisfying to use. It's just unfortunate that the high-grade Hydra implants are very expensive, and then this fit is also a bit on the pricier end compared to before. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.